Step into the vibe, oh yeah. Feel the rhythm rise high, we're living life. Let's fly, off tap life. Sky's the limit, no shy. Off tap life.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another reaction request. If this is your first time, please consider subscribing, join the family. Absolutely love to have you. All right, guys, this one is from Jazzy J. What's up, Jazzy J? Hope you're having a great day. Jazzy J wants to hear Rick Price, Walk Away Renee. And we've never done this, so this is going to be a new one, and so don't know what to expect. So without further ado, from me, Jazzy J, and all of you, let's get off tap. Quickly, does that not sound like George Michael, father figure? The beginning of that, I swear those keys, that actually medley, that little riff there, that sounds, that sounds like George Michael, father figure. Listen to it next time you listen to it. I've reacted to that song, I'm pretty sure I have, so check it out. All right, let's go.
And when I see the sign points one way, the life we used to lead every day. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. The empty sidewalks from my block, they're not the same. You're not to blame. From deep inside the tears, I'm forced to cry. From deep inside the pain, I chose to hide. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. Now as the rain beats down on my weary eyes, for me I cry.
I love this song. It's got that catchy kind of feel to it. There was that period of music, where I feel like these type of it feels like that early 90s, maybe late 80s, kind of somewhere in that period of time type of feel, that style of kind of just smooth, not quite mushy enough to be a ballad, but yet not too far from that, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's kind of got that little bit up-tempo ballady type of pacing, but it's got a good flow and it's got a good vibe to make you kind of want to vibe out to it. But yet it's also got that kind of smoothness that makes you kind of want to chill out to it. You know what I'm saying? It's got that happy medium type vibe happening. Something about, that 80s, 90s radio friendly type of song. You know what I mean? You guys know what I'm saying? That kind of like, you hear this and you go, yeah, okay. Whether you're cruising, just for the fun of it, or you're on your way to work, or you're, getting ready to go out for a good time, it's got that happy, that medium, that perfect place. You get what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. Let's go. It's just a good, happy-go-lucky type of feeling song that can be used for any purpose, at any time, at any place. There you go. That sums it up.
finds a way to haunt me. Though they're so small. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. The empty sidewalks from my life, they're not the same. You're not to blame.
He's got a great rock voice, you know. He's got that tonality that is very soothing and comforting as well, you know. That's one of those other things, you know, where it's one of those kind of songs where you can listen to it, it's not overwhelming, but yet if you listen to a couple of those places, he actually does, you know, give it a little extra, you know what I'm saying. He's chilled and cool, but he could go down for the blowdown if he wants to, you see what I'm saying. He can do it, he is capable, but you know, he's just for the most part just vibing, just chilling, just singing it, serenading, you know, probably for somebody who, you know, is like, well, I'm walking away. He's like, well, hey, go ahead, see you later, I ain't gonna follow you. You walk alone. Or maybe he's not saying that at all, I don't know. You ever have songs you listen to and you just kind of catch a couple words here and there and you're just kind of vibing out really though, you know what I mean? So you're not really too worried about what he's saying in the song. Because I don't always listen to all the lyrics of the song, if I'm being real. Like, I might hear them, doesn't mean I'm listening. Oh, wait, I might be listening, doesn't mean I'm hearing them. You know what I'm saying? I might be not comprehendo what they sayendo. You know what I'm saying? Know what I mean?
You won't see me follow you back home. Now as the rain beats down upon my weary eyes, for me I cry. Walk away. Just walk away. I won't follow you. No. Just walk away. I won't follow you. Just walk away. Just walk away. Just walk.
Good, not bad.
Boy bands. I had that on my mind because I wanted to say that. I was going to say it earlier, but this is like one of those songs. It came to me. It's very boy bandish. It feels like Backstreet Boys could have did this song. Maybe they even did. I don't even know. But it had that kind of freaking boy bandy kind of vibe to it. He looked like he could have been in a boy band at some point even. How is his hair? Like, what you doing? How his hair, man. Lovely, long, nice, beautiful. Like, man. Put me to shame. And like, you know, the thing is like, man, like there's something wrong when like, you know, there should be no guy like that with hair nicer than every other girl on the like on the planet. Like his hair is like, if you look up great hair in the dictionary, I'm sure his picture's there. But let's talk about great hair another day. For now, let's focus on great music, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's a boy band, doesn't matter if it's a solo artist, doesn't matter if it's Scooby-Doo himself, freaking just where are you? And at the end of the day, good music comes from all kinds of places, unexpectedly sometimes even. You freaking don't even see it coming, smacks you in the face, the next thing you know, you're humming in the shower, you don't know why. It's just that's stuck in your head. You can't get it out of your head. You just can't get it out of my head. That should be a song. But you know, it's that thing, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Good music is good music, and at the end of the day, You like what you like, you feel what you feel, and it'll move you, and sometimes move you in a great way, sometimes move you in a sad way. As long as you're moving, I guess that's all right. You just let it move you. Let it move you, though. Let it move you. Don't be afraid to let it move you. But good music, man, it starts with a foundation of greatness that is surrounded by the fundamentals. The fundamentals have to be cemented in a great foundation, because without that, it can all come tumbling down. When you hear the song, there's obviously some great songwriting going on, absolutely great songwriting. And I think those are the best songs when it's singer-songwriter, you can kind of feel that might be a singer-songwriter type of song when you're listening to certain music. You can kind of put your finger on it, you know what I mean? There's something just a little bit different that kind of just brings it to another place, that takes it to another level. Not all music can do that, because again, there's something different about something that you're connected to, right? If you are telling your story of something you experienced, it's something you went through, that's something that really mattered to you, it's going to hit a lot different than a story that someone else wrote for somebody else, talking about something that they don't even know what they're talking about. If you ain't experienced it, had nothing to do with you, why are you going to feel like you connected to it? Newsflash, you're not going to feel connected, because ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's because it's not your story. Your story is the story that's going to help you to be able to feel how you feel, because you're feeling your authenticness through something that you absolutely had to maybe crawl through, maybe you had to fight through, you had to freaking climb over a big mountain to get over it, you had to go and swim across a deep sea to get across it, you had to sweat a million sweaty tears, a million bloody bloods, freaking fingers all aching and baking and freaking shaking. No mistaken, I'm not faking, but there we go. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this is something that happens when you are telling your story, speaking your truth. You put in the miles, you put in the hard work, you put in the effort. This is what you've done. So when you are therefore expressing that, when you are sharing that with the class, your peers, the person that is close to you, the person that you hope will listen to you when you're freaking there pouring out your soul, that's when there's that connection, that bond, that special thing that happens, because they know that it's coming from a real place. It's coming from a real pain, a real deepness, a real joy, or whatever the case may be, whatever you're sharing. My point is that it's just deep and it's real. And that's beautiful, guys. That is really beautiful. And it's not something that, I think you can really teach, because it goes back to how I say about passion, right? When you're passionate about something, you're going to put your heart and soul in it, your heart and soul, your authenticness, your truth, your story, your feels. It's yours, and that matters. And when you're able to make music and to give that out to all to, be able to consume and to feel and to experience, without any walls, without any borders, without any freaking, putting, let's just put a little extra spice on it to kind of season up and make it seem a bit something else more than what it was. Like, don't treat it like a soap opera. Don't treat it like it's a freaking Friday night drama, man. Like, freaking keep it 100. Keep it real, and your audience will feel it, and they will understand it, and they will be connected to it. And that's what great songwriters do. Singer-songwriters do it more kind of just generically, I guess, organically, if you will. Their passion is a bit different than some others in a sense, because they kind of, singer-songwriter story is kind of like, just a little bit deeper in a lot of ways. They're the ones who kind of are the unsung heroes even. A lot of singer-songwriters start out kind of singing, songwriting for someone else. You know what I mean? They're just looking for their opportunity, and they'll take what they can get. And, I speak from experience. I look back and I made a mistake at one point, because so what happened was, let me tell you a little quick story, one of my stories. So when I was signed to Sony and a few other labels, when I was over in Japan, I was doing my music and I was signed, I was the front person. I was the star of the show, if you will, humbly speaking, as humble as I can make that sound, which I can't really make that sound humble, but it is what it is. I was the front person. I was the main. It was me who was doing what I do best, which is entertain and go out in the front and freaking just lead the way, right? That's how I roll. Anyways, that's a problem when you've done it for so long and that's been your position, and you do kind of get, your head does kind of float a bit. You know what I mean? You because it gets a little big. It does. You can't help it. You kind of have to have a little bit of an ego to be an artist and to entertain and do what we do, because you got to have, there's a balance between ego and confidence. Somewhere there's a happy medium, but you need a little bit of that ego to have the confidence to go out there, because, you know, sometimes when you're out there performing, without having that little ego, it's hard, dude. Because you're like, man, they're not dancing, or they're kind of just looking at me like they want to throw something. And you know what I mean? There's some hard shows sometimes, especially when you're performing somewhere that's not your fans, and you're just on a bill with a bunch of other, you know, artists. For example, they're there to see the main star of the, you know, the concert, and you're just like an opening act. Whew. Those shows are hard sometimes, because, you know, they're not there to see you. You just happen to be there. you need some extra ego in that day to help your confidence feel like you can do it. But the problem is, though, where that works against you, in those situations is great. You get through the show, you might blow the roof off, you might freaking not, but at least you'll live to sing another day. But when I first moved to Australia, when I came here to Australia, and I was you know, attempting to get back into the music scene, which when I first came here, I thought, oh, it's going to be easy. Like, yeah, I'll just, you know, I completely misjudged the situation, first of all, because the music scene in this country, the music industry is not that big, right? And it's just based on the population, really, but it's not like it's, you know, but luckily, again, times have changed. Social media, you could be anywhere in the world. You could be in the middle of the desert. If you got something good and awesome and juicy, it can go viral from anywhere. So it doesn't even matter. It's a moot point. But when I first came here, I was offered an opportunity to, you know, because I went to record companies. I was going to different record companies, shopping around some stuff, seeing if I can get a record deal over here. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm ex-Sony, I'm this, I'm that, you know. It's one of those places where you have to have that ego and that confidence, because if you don't, you'll get eaten alive, because it's kind of hard to walk into a record label and know that they have all the power, and you're just like, which again, moot point, doesn't matter these days. Again, you can do all this without the need of a record label. You know, you can go viral, you can put out your own music and everything, thanks to social media, thanks to the way the internet works these days. You could be good, you can have a good life without a record label. But anyways, I was offered the opportunity. They was like, hey, we love what you're doing. And I was like, yeah, right. And I'm thinking they're about to, you know, offer me a deal and stuff and whatever to, you know, be the person I'm used to being, the star of the show, going out and performing. They're like, we can get you to write some music for some of our other artists. That'd be great. We have a couple artists that we think some of your songs would be perfect for. I'm like, what? What'd you say? My ego just went, what? Because I'm like, what do you mean for somebody else? I was like, and in that moment, oh my gosh, dude. Because again, I was used to be, you know, performing in front of sold out thousands and thousands of people, big stadiums, freaking all over the place, doing my thing all the time, big shows, big performances and stuff. I was Sony, I was signed to Sony, bro. What you talking about for other people? That's how my ego, I was like, yo, they tripping. What? Other people? How about for me? I made my music for me, and that's what I was telling them. Like, nah, dude, look, my music, I write my music for me, not for other people. I ain't writing for nobody else. Like, I'm the whole show. I'm a quadruple threat, dude. I sing, I just perform. I'm like singing I'm like, this can't be happening. It kind of hurt. It kind of was like, what's happening? Like, they don't think I'm good enough. They just want me to write for other people. Like, I mean, what happened? And at first it's crazy, right? Because moving to another country, at first I thought it'd be so cool. I mean, I should make a whole separate video about this, because there's a whole story about all of this, and there's a lot of details. Maybe I will make another video about this. I've made some other videos about like being signed and what it was like in music and, you know, all that, blah, blah, blah. There's some previous videos on it, but I don't think I've really gone into this side of it a bit. Some of these things that have happened along the way, but maybe I will do that. But just to finish the story up, you know, it was hard for me to just kind of just be like, put on the, I don't know, like be put in that singer-songwriter for someone else type of scenario. Never even crossed my mind. That's the last thing I thought they would say when I walked in there. And yeah, it kind of just messed me up a little bit. But when I first came, I was going to say, when I first came to Australia, I thought it'd be cool because I was like, oh, maybe no one will know who I am, and I can kind of a break, because like I used to go to restaurants, I used to go to places because I was on billboards, I was on back of magazines, I was all over the place at one point, you know what I mean? I was doing regular shows, I was doing a lot of different things. I was, and plus in Japan, like there's not a lot of, at that time particularly, there wasn't a lot of foreigners, you know, especially like Black Americans who was out there, you know, freaking at that level that I was at, you know, doing what I was doing. So, you know, I was like, you know, kind of, there was times where you're out with your, you know, your other half, you know, or your friends or whatever, you're having dinner, you just want to have a private moment, or you're going to the supermarket or somewhere, and like people want to be like getting autographs or, you know, that kind of thing, you know, and it's fine. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's fine. Like, I like doing that kind of stuff. There's times when you don't want that. You just want your privacy. You know what I mean? Believe it or not, there is times you might not think so because you ain't lived it. But when you've lived it, you'll know that there's times where you're just like, ooh, I just wouldn't mind being able to switch off for a moment where just no one knew who I was and I could do my thing. So, you know, after years of doing that kind of stuff, you kind of go, oh, it'd be nice just to be invisible. Yeah, I got here and I realized that sucked. They didn't know who I was. They didn't care. And yeah, I ended up becoming like, they were like singer-songwriter for somebody else. And I messed up my ego a bit, messed up my confidence, definitely messed up my whole freaking just, geez, what's going on here? And thinking every decision I made that got me here, thinking, why did I do? But, you know, at the end of the day, my point to all this, bringing it back to this particular song, is that, you know, singer-songwriters, you know, you start out your journey, you know, a lot of the times where you're just wanting to get heard any way you can. And if that means someone else is, you know, singing or performing to your music, you kind of take it. You're like, well, for now that'll have to do, you know what I mean? And then you work your way up until eventually you're now able to perform your own music. You see a lot of greats, they'll tell you that they started out, they were just sending their music out and other people is licensing their music for different things, or, you know, they were writing for somebody else, you know, and then that's how they got their big break, you know. And then today, you being in the right place at the right time is so important, especially in the music industry. But these days, again, like I said, social media has kind of changed that. We live in an interesting time, man, where you can just be in the middle of freaking the desert. As long as you have a phone and connectivity, you could potentially become a star. You could become freaking in every household around the planet. That's crazy, right? That is so crazy. Anyways, topic for another day. But look, I enjoyed the song. It was great, you know, just really well-written song. Had that cool factor, had that chill factor, had that freaking just, you know, that what's a good way to put it? Just that really commercial pop, feel-good type of song that leaves you wanting more, right? We love that stuff. That bubblegummy, feels good. I love it. Let's listen to this. It'll help me get through whatever I'm going through in the day, whether it's good, bad, or anything in between. That kind of song. Happy-go-lucky, beautiful song, well-written, well-performed. This guy's pipes, he has that cool factor, the hair, the everything, the look. I don't know why you never heard of him. It seems like, he had it all. Like, that's probably how they felt when I went to the record company that day. You had to look, you had to everything. But we just want you to be a songwriter for one of our other artists. Well, on that note, managed to somehow make myself feel worse. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. You guys know, thousands and thousands of videos. We've got a family of beautiful, beautiful, just amazing supporters who have been rolling with us for a long time now. And I want to thank all those members who have been around for a very, very long time. Thank all of you new fans. Thank all the old fans. Thank everybody in between fans. Thank all of you guys. By the way, if you got a reaction request, the link's in the description. Use it. Go there, put your reaction request in. I'll make it happen for you. It's easy, it's painless, I promise. So, links in the description. And as always, remember to on the fullest, keep it off tap, out.
We gotta get out of here! I'll catch you guys later for another vlog!